Superhero Posties, welcome to the Superhero Post Show where we talk all things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. So today we are talking about Daisy Ridley, and apparently she is in talks for a SpiderWoman movie. So if you guys don't know, Daisy Ridley was Rey from Star Wars, the most controversial, the worst character I've ever seen in Star Wars. Had great potential, but shout out to Kathleen Kennedy for ruining that. So Daisy Ridley is being eyed for the SpiderWoman role in Sony. Now, I'm not a big fan of the recycling of characters like Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight. I love Oscar Isaac. I think he's going to do great, but I'm not a big fan of the recycling of characters. Now, the bad part about this is that Sony wants this. And obviously, with the MCU, they're really taking this Spider-Man thing really big. And as you guys know, we saw Andrew Garfield's a body double at the Spider-Man No Way Home thing. And then we saw we saw Tobey Maguire's body double. So obviously Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are probably going to be in this. And you didn't hear from me, but apparently Tobey Maguire is playing a big role in Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. I'm not sure if that's true, but if it is, that'd be really dope. So do I want a Daisy Ridley Spider-Woman movie? No, I do not. We do not need that right now. I think this is going to, I don't know if Disney is going to like associate themselves with this, but as in regards to Sony, I think any Spider-Man related movie that they do is going to be terrible, and it's going to hurt the Spider-Man that we see in the MCU. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Venom. I really don't want Venom 2. I think Tom Hardy is a great actor that is being wasted in Sony that we could be using in the MCU right now. So I'm not a big fan of how they're trying to build off this Sony verse. And I'm not sure this movie will be successful. Not because Daisy really doesn't have the acting ability to do it. I think she does, but this is just not the time for that right now. Like, Sony needs to understand, I think Sony really needs to either give Marvel full control of their characters or sell their rights, because the MCU is such a big universe right now that everything's interconnected. And regardless of what the Disney and Kevin Feige says, the Sony movies hurt the MCU in some type of form or fashion, confusing a lot of fans. Like, I even heard things of normies, normal fans who aren't really into the comics like us, thinking that Venom was going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. That's not happening, or even in Doctor Strange. And I think that, with all these separations that we're getting, which isn't a lot, it hurts the franchise. So I would love to see Daisy Ridley in the MCU or even in Spider-Woman. Now is not the right time. And Sony is great at forcing stuff. That's why Spider-Man 2 didn't work with Andrew Garfield. Spider-Man 3 with the symbiote was terrible. I mean, those movies were terrible because they forced a lot of crap on it, and they did it in a terrible way. And Sony didn't want to give a lot of directors creative control. So that's how I feel about this whole thing. So just my closing thoughts right now is just that, number one, Daisy Ridley is a great actress, even though she was terrible in Star Wars. Not her fault. I think she would do great. Wrong, not the right time right now. I think in regards to Spider-Man and stuff, I would love to see Black Cat, I think that's her name, and some of those other characters, Kraven. I would love to see those characters come out right now and save Spider-Woman for a little bit farther down the line. Let Tom Holland grow up, or if they're doing the Peter in the MCU and Miles Morales in the Sony universe, let these characters grow up, give them time, so then when we bring in a Spider-Woman, it's a perfect time. And it might not be Daisy Ridley, and I'm fine with that. I would love to see Daisy Ridley play something else if this Spider-Woman thing doesn't happen, even though I hate recycling characters from Star Wars to the MCU. But if she is going to the MCU, I would love to see maybe another character if Spider-Woman, if they're not doing it right now. But I do think it's a rush. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe below.